The moment she stops complaining, you have already lost. Most men make the fatal error of celebrating the sudden peace in the room, mistaking her silence for contentment. They think they finally won the argument, or that she has miraculously decided to stop being dramatic. They are dead wrong. That silence is not a victory. It is a funeral for the investment she once had in you. It is the final stage of emotional detachment, the exact point where she has stopped trying to fix the relationship and has instead started preparing for her life without you. This matters right now because we live in a culture that encourages men to ignore feedback under the guise of staying unbothered. You have been taught that a partner's complaints are just noise to be tuned out, but psychology tells us that a complaint is actually a form of demand for connection. When she complains, she is still fighting for the relationship. She is saying that you matter enough for her to exert the effort required to point out what is broken. The moment that effort disappears, so does the relationship. She has reached the conclusion that you are no longer worth the emotional labor of correction. The uncomfortable truth here is that indifference is the opposite of love, not hate. When she was complaining, she was emotionally tethered to you, hoping for a better version of the man in front of her. When she stops, she has mentally checked out. She has moved from being a participant in your life to a spectator, observing your failures with the same detachment one might have for a stranger. She is no longer disappointed in you because she no longer expects anything from you. She is simply waiting for the right moment to finalize the exit. However, if you are sitting here realizing that you have allowed things to slide to this point, take a breath. It is not about wallowing in the realization. It is about recognizing the power you still have over your own evolution. Whether she stays or goes is no longer your primary concern. The primary concern is the man you are going to be when the dust settles. You have the capacity to stop being the guy who waits for the silence to hit before he starts paying attention. You have the ability to build a life so grounded in purpose and high-value standards that you will never again need a complaint to tell you what needs improvement. You are not defined by the relationships you failed to save, but by the relentless discipline you apply to your own growth starting from this exact second. This realization is not a death sentence. It is a wake-up call to start building a version of yourself that commands respect by default, not by request. The standard you set for your own life will dictate the quality of every connection you have moving forward, and that work begins the moment you stop making excuses for your own complacency. If this hit the mark for you and you are ready to stop waiting for signs and start setting the standard, let the algorithm know you are on board by dropping a like. I'll be here to break down the next frame when you're ready to keep building.